People say to me all the time, did the things in your stories actually happen?
The Chronology of Water unfolds as a poignant and introspective cinematic experience that transcends conventional storytelling, weaving together memory, identity, and the elemental force that ties us to our past and present. Rather than offering a linear narrative, the film chooses to mirror the ebb and flow of life itself, moving fluidly between moments of intimacy, upheaval, loss, joy, and revelation. Much like water itself reshapes the land through persistent motion, it casts its emotional net wide, inviting audiences into a reflective journey that feels at once deeply personal and universally resonant, asking questions about what it means to carry the weight of memory and the yearning for belonging from the very beginning. The film immerses the viewer in a sensory world shaped by water both literally and metaphorically. Shimmering lakes, rain-dappled streets, rushing rivers, and quiet seaside horizons fill the visuals, each frame echoing with symbolism. These watery landscapes are not mere backdrops. They are active participants in the story, reflecting the emotional states of the characters and marking transitions between past and present. In this world, water becomes a language fluid, layered, elusive, and evocative, shaping mood as much as the unfolding events themselves. At the heart of the narrative is a protagonist whose life is stitched together by a network of personal memories shaped by love, loss, displacement, and transformation. As a child, they learned the rhythms of life from the gentlest pools to the deepest blue of the sea. As an adult, those lessons echo in moments of profound introspection. Friends, family, and lovers appear like currents, sometimes guiding, sometimes pulling away, but always shaping the contours of who this character becomes. The emotional landscape of the film is shaped, less by plot twists and more by the gradual accumulation of moments that reveal how life's waters can both nurture and erode the sense of self. The cast brings remarkable depth to these emotional waters, each performance grounded in a quiet authenticity that feels lived in and real. The protagonist's journey is intertwined with those of others who represent varied facets of human connection, companions whose laughter once felt like warm sunlit waves, figures whose absence leaves a silent trough cutting deep into the emotional terrain, strangers encountered at crossing points whose presence briefly alters perspective. These relationships are rendered with nuance and sensitivity, allowing audiences to feel the ripple effects of each interaction. Plot-wise, the film eschews conventional conflict in favor of an organic unfolding of experience. Much like water tracing its path through rock, memories reveal themselves not in tidy chapters but as overlapping recollections, dream sequences, and waking reveries that at times blur the lines between present and past. Early scenes might open with a sunrise shimmering over water, transitioning seamlessly into scenes of childhood laughter, or a moment of heartbreak at a shoreline that later reappears in a new guise. This rhythmic motion forms a tapestry of emotional resonance rather than a straightforward narrative arc. Water as a motif carries layered meanings here. It represents life's fluidity, memory's constant motion, loss that cannot be contained, and healing that takes time to surface. Rain might fall during moments of vulnerability, cleansing yet somber. Calm lakes become reflective pools of realization. Rivers carry the sense of time moving irrevocably forward, even as characters reach back into memory to retrieve moments long past. These visual metaphors serve the emotional core of the story, reinforcing how memory can carry both gentle nostalgia and unyielding pain. Thematic undercurrents swirl around identity and belonging. The protagonist's journey is not just geographic nor solely emotional, it is elemental. They are in constant dialogue with their own sense of self as filtered through the experiences that have divided and united them with others. There are moments of solitude, where silence drapes over a quiet riverside at dawn, echoing with absence. And then there are moments swelled with company and laughter, where water shimmers under footsteps and conversation, reflecting the warmth of connection. What makes the Chronology of Water particularly compelling is how emotional beats are built not through melodrama but through quiet observation. Characters do not declare feelings. They reveal them slowly in gestures, a lingering glance, soft sigh, a hesitant step towards reconciliation, or the resolute turning away that signals an ending. These moments are tender, intimate, and believable because they mirror the subtlety of real human experience. It is in these quiet spaces that the film truly thrives. Music and sound design infuse the film with additional layers of meaning. Soft, minimalistic scores weave in and out like currents beneath dialogue, lifting during moments of revelation and retreating into silence during interior struggle. Natural sounds, rain pattering on leaves, the rush of urban water fountains, the distant call of seabirds heighten the sensory experience, allowing the audience to feel enveloped by the world on screen. Sounds become memories in themselves, resonating long after a scene has passed. The emotional arc carries audiences through moments of joy and sorrow, with equal grace. There are scenes of laughter shared among friends at a summer gathering by the lake, followed by long, quiet walks that reflect the ache of unspoken words. There are reunions that feel like spring thaw and partings that feel like winter's long grip. The film presents these with a kind of truth that avoids exaggeration, trusting its audience to feel the depth of meaning without needing to be told explicitly. Supporting characters play essential roles in shaping the protagonist's evolution. Among them are figures who act as mirrors, revealing traits that the protagonist might not fully recognize in themselves. Some embody curiosity and openness, encouraging the protagonist to embrace new experiences. Others embody restraint and reflection, reminding the protagonist of previous versions of themselves. These interactions are never superficial. They carry emotional weight because they prompt introspection, change, and occasionally reconciliation. As the narrative builds toward its emotional peak, the film orchestrates a convergence of past and present. Memories that once felt distant become vividly alive in moments of recognition. Old wounds resurface, allowing the protagonist to confront unresolved regrets and unexpressed longings. These scenes are powerful not because they are dramatic, but because they are honest. They resonate with anyone who has ever felt the tension between who they were and who they have become, and the way water carries both the stories of rivers flowed and the promise of currents yet to chart. By the time the story reaches its subtle yet resonant resolution, the emotional landscape has shifted in ways both gentle and profound. There is no abrupt finale, no dramatic plunge. Instead, there is a sense of rising, as though the emotional waters have found their equilibrium. The protagonist carries forward a deeper understanding of self, memory, and connection, shaped by each convergence and divergence they have encountered. In its richness and complexity, the Chronology of Water becomes more than a film. It becomes an experience that reflects the murmur of memory and the pulse of life itself. It speaks to the universal truth that every story we live is shaped by where we have been and where we hope to go, all while flowing forward like a river that never quite settles. Through layers of atmospheric imagery, evocative sound, and deeply human performances, the film invites audiences not just to watch a story, but to feel it as one feels water upon the skin, cool, unpredictable, and essential to the rhythms of life.